I am here today with an epic rematch of Fort Wagner featuring Bluecoat. This time I will be attacking and he will be defending. Bear with me, I'm a little nasally today. So, you have missed nothing but our initial setup. I am playing as the Army of Tennessee, and he is playing as Polk's Corps. As you can see, I start this match by moving my cannons and my skirms, which my skirms are hella large. I think we were playing this on huge settings, not ultra, but large, and large funds. I also have an ass ton of cavalry, which I plan on utilizing the living daylights out of these cav. So let's see how well my plans work out. Got a lot of Tennessee, a lot of Ohio, some Illinois, some Iowa, Indiana. But yeah, here we're just kicking it off. It's going to take a while for my actual infantry to walk up this beach of death. Now, Blue and I talked about this a lot. We were actually going to give him more cannons. I don't know the exact number. I don't even know if he did take more cannons. He may have just kept it with the regulation 18. I know that's what I did. So I've got 6 here, 6 here. That's 12. 18 on the dot. Our skirms are moving up quite well. Our cav is moving up. You can see I've placed my general and my infantry is slowly making their way. Look at how large some of these units are. 621, 600, 642. But yeah, we're just slowly making our way to the front lines, going slow. I wanted to make sure he had no skirms outside of this deployment moving up. I do my standard typical thing, and that's I move my cav and my skirms prior to anything else. I like knowing what I'm facing. Trying to get my cannons set up in a good location. I thought this was going to be a great line of fire, being able to pour right into his fort. Continuing to push my skirms in this small unit of cav forward. This is going to be my sacrificial cav, Carmichael's company. 81 men. I don't see a reason in worrying too much about losing them, and I'm just slowly leapfrogging my skirms forward, letting all of my cav get into position. They got kind of hung up on the infantry units back here. You can see there's still a couple cav back here. There's some cav back here wrapped up on the 58th Illinois. There's a lot of cav wrapped up right here. But they will get around. They're running. They're trying to catch up with their regiments. Looks to be my cannon are starting to unlumber, and that's a really good placement. Now, when I unlumber these, I do turn their fire at will off. I don't want to give away the positions of my cannons just yet. Just slowly inching our ways forward. This cannon's already ready to fire. Way to go, boys. They moved and unlimbered in a rapid succession. 186 skirms. Jesus. And this whole time, Blue and I are talking, and I was like, dude, you wait till you see the size of my skirm units. They're fucking massive. And, you know, as always, you know, he and I are just laughing this entire time, cracking jokes, making fun of stuff. It's always a pleasure, actually, gaming with Blue. He's very, very laid back. He's an awesome gamer. He's always aware that I'm streaming. Helps me come up with some commentary. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I did a quick maneuver to try to pull the rest of my men who were stuck. That's what it was. And again, I'm pushing them forward slowly. I'm trying to take my smaller skirm units and use them up front, saving my larger skirms for the rear. Sorry about that, guys. I am the streaming dad. My kids are all home on summer break. And they have been up for a while, and they are hungry. So they came in to ask me if they could get a snack. Alright, so it looks like most of my units are finally up where I'm wanting them. I'm starting to move the rest of my cav up because I plan on utilizing the living daylights out of this cav. Moving up 5 regiments of soldiers. I am just slowly inching my way because I don't know exactly what guns Bluecoat has. So we're just slowly going up. The last thing I want is every one of his cannons opening up on one unit at a time and just blasting them into non-existence. So, as you can see, we've got all of our regiments moving. I'm keeping the largest regiments in the rear as my final forward push. 663, 642. Yeah, so that's about 1,900 men. And I'm starting to open up. And I know he's got men placed, so I'm just testing the waters. He's like, yep, I'm going to send my general around and just give everybody a you know, a little bit of some encouragement. So he's walking his general around as I'm firing on this bank, and I'm like, just be careful, buddy. I don't want to hit your gen. And, you know, as always, when you're shooting cannons, you always want to attack the ground. You never want to directly attack a unit. They tend to fire just a hair behind them. You always attack the ground. Plus, if you don't directly attack a unit, your cannons stay hidden while they're firing. So, I held fire there for a second to let his general get out of the way a bit. And, you know, it does take a few volleys for your cannons to dial in. Oh, and I'm finding men. Oh, look at the hits. First thing he said was, oh my god, look at that hit. And boom, we cracked that skirm unit. Good placement on your skirms, by the way, Blue. That was very good. And right now I'm just letting my cannons try to find some men. More hits, more good hits. Oh, and look, we've got some cannons. Oh, his skirms came back. Well, for a minute. So now we know he's got some cannons right here. I did not see that initially. And I am starting to move up infantry regiments. Moving up my cannon. Just slowly going forward. I'm kind of angling my men as well, because I know most of the bulk of his forces here. I do not know what's in this little corner, however, so I'm going to use my 81 men cav unit here to do a little bit of a scout. Now these are going to be my sacrificial calves, so I don't worry too terribly much about them. And Blue has pulled his general back because he knows I'm targeting this area specifically. So now his general is good and safe, which is that's good for me. I don't have to worry about hitting his general accidentally. I don't even like hitting generals accidentally. If generals die, I feel it should be to a cav charge or open fire. Now, I am not starting to get the hits that I were, so it made me wonder, did he pull his soldiers back? And then I get a hit, and I realize, no, he hasn't pulled his soldiers back. My cannons just are not hitting them. And here we go. They are starting to come into view. Now, at this point, he only sees my skirms, because I asked him what all he saw. I was like, what troops are you seeing right now? He's like, I see 3 units of skirms. He does eventually see this cav, but he did not see them at the moment. So, I just kind of ever so slightly sneak them up. I want him to think that I'm going to dismount them and use them in direct combat. I was hoping that these men would be positioned well enough to fire, but as you can see, Blue has his men in the trench, so my men have no line of sight on these soldiers. So right now, the only thing we can do is bombard them. Oh, look at them skirms. And here we go. Now his howitzers are in plain sight. And here's this howitzer unit, and right here I know, okay, well now he's targeting my cav. He sees my cav for sure, so I immediately initiate a charge, because the last thing I want is this cannon to fire a spread shot straight into him, because that will crack him instantly. So I instantly charge my men. And really, I'm not even full bore charging them as much as I double right clicked on the ground so they didn't scream to alert him. And here we go. First engagement of the battle. And here we go. And he sees this, so the first thing he does is gets his skirms and this unit to get to them. And I know at this point that unit's going to die, so I push. I charge up this hill right into his secondary line of cannons, because the more cannons I take now, the better I will be. And his howitzers are just decimating my 24th. He's shredding them. Now these troops are already very tired, so them running up a hill just makes it even worse. But already this unit has paid itself off. It's already gotten a cannon destroyed. And he's immediately reacting. Look at all these skirms he's got. Jeez.
A unit has grown weary, sir.
So yeah, my unit's already gotten exhausted. So this will be the end of Carmichael's company, I'm sure. Now, it looked like he was going to charge this unit up, but changed his mind. Probably a good idea since he had a unit over here much closer. Oh, and we have cracked that unit. Now, I'm going to go for this cannon. The more cannon I can kill, the better I am. But my men are already exhausted, they're wavering, and now they have cracked. It doesn't help, they're getting shot at in the rear by skirms, and this unit's charging them full frontal. So, rip that cav unit. So here he is lining up. My men are going to start shooting everywhere they can. I've got all of my cannon focusing on his front lines at the moment. I do not think that this cav unit came back. I can't remember. So, I've taken 2 of his cannons already, which leaves him 2 more. And just due to the superior firepower Blue has, along with the cannon support, 24th broke. I'm not terribly worried about my skirms. They've already done their job. They've done the scouting. They've found them. So I'm just going to let them continue to shoot. But now that I know where the majority of his men are, I'm advancing. Look at all them beautiful blue codes. And I'm saving my cav more towards the end game. I want to use them when his men are more tired and exhausted. And look at all of these fresh regiments he's moving up. Look at the size of this regiment. Insane. Oh, okay. That's why my unit definitely didn't come back. He went ahead and charged some of them down. Good move there, Blue. Good move. Did not see that during the actual battle because I was microing, but really good lines, backup lines here. Really smart play. He's got more men in the rear as support. He's ran this unit down to nothing. He's pulling his skirms forward, always a good thing to see. My 32nd Indiana came back. Way to go, boys. So it looks like I've still got all of my skirms. This one broke, came back. This one broke and came back. And now I'm just pulling my skirms out. I don't need them anymore. There's no sense in having them. I'm just truing them up, and I am forming my actual battle line because I see these men coming in. And now he is opening up every cannon he has on me. And still, his men have amazing deployment. My men can't even see his men hardly. Oh, he's starting to crown the hill. Pour it into him, boys. Look at them cannons coming in. Good hit. And I didn't even know he had these extra men back here. So, here I am. I finally got my front line situated, and he just keeps popping in more men. More and more men just keep coming into this front line battle. And I form up my skirms over here. I know I'm not going to be using them much more anymore. Pulling in a couple extra regiments to my front line just to be safe. Pulling in 3 more regiments in support of my main line, with 3 more supporting the secondary line. Pulling the general up, pulling our cav up. So now we have a full deployment of all of our men to the front lines, and our cannons are back here doing everything they can to support our infantry. And this is just a beautiful battlefield. There comes more cannon support. And look at how thick these lines are back here. None of my cannons had round shot, or I probably would have targeted and tried to rip through his line. Oh, and look at that hit with the Blues howitzer.
Your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir. Sir, I fear your general is in
And he is heavy on his flanks. He has so many men. You know, at this point, the only thing I can do is just pour shots into him. Now, this did have an hour timer set. There is no lock points. We were playing for total domination, which I like playing for lock points, but with this particular map, you just don't need them. And look at the amount of soldiers he has over here. So I go ahead and break off my 2 supporting units and just form a brand new line. And I go to eventually swing these men, as you can see, because I want to pull more men to my front. My only real chance is just to overpower and overfire on his men, and he still has more units popping in. His cannon did come back, however, they were glitched, I believe. So he still only got these 8 cannons firing, but those 8 cannons, in conjunction with his men being able to fire, are hurting badly. And I'm starting to see it, so eventually I will move Grant to the front line. And as you can see, I went ahead and pulled a unit over. My real only chance is just to outshoot him. These men aren't much meant for melee, but their melee defense is quite nice. So I have quite a higher number than blue. Oh, and look at the blood splat. Jesus. This unit back here is just hammering along with the frickin' artillery. Nice shots with his howitzers. Oh, there's a chevron out of that. This unit's going to break. Time to send support, which it looks like I'm already doing. And I'm moving up my 3 last regiments, which are my large regiments. At this point, I realize if I focus with both of these units into his one, I should be able to start crumbling his flank. And if I can crumble his flank, I can wrap and get major flanking fire. So let's see. Let's just watch. Looks like they already popped off a volley. Good amount of dead. Come on, 11th. Oh. I'd really like to see the 11th volley, but I don't want to lose too much time here. Nice counterfire, but look at this front line already. There's another unit breaking just due to this cannon back here, getting a 2nd and a 3rd chevron. Look at the amount of men that cannon has taken. And it looks like my unit has not came back. But it does. Here we go. There's that volley. Look at those men dropping. And here's where I know I can do this as long as I can keep this hole plugged. Okay, the 24th did come back. The 50th will come back. But he's already starting to see what I'm doing. He's going to go ahead and move reinforcements in. Very smart move. I'm letting these guys rest up. I'm going to leave them back here because I know they're already tired. 50th came back. I'm going to do the same thing and let them rest for a few. As you can see, I am slowly walking my men in. I do not want to rush them. I think I'm actually now starting to target this howitzer unit. Yes, I am. Lucky shot there, hitting the skirms pretty good. But I know if I don't take out that howitzer unit, there's going to be absolute hell to pay. Now, I'm starting to set my skirms up back here with my cannon because I am preparing a defense just in case. I had a feeling blue was just going to attrition me out with his cannons. And as you can see, once I broke that unit, I instantly shift. These men are all going to die. And they're going to run right into my front line. I'm going to chew them up. That is one unit I do not have to worry about returning. And, yep, he's got nice lines set up here. Very big lines. I think that was actually a misclick on blue, though. So yeah, I am moving cav up to support my front lines. Truing these guys up because this will be my next wave that walks in over here. Because my front lines have been firing for a while. And even though they're not bad, they're starting to get tired. So what I want to do is march my 4th Illinois right up here and fire over the heads of my infantry. And look at that cannon shot right there. That howitzer's just giving my men hell. Give me 1 second, guys. I got a phone call I have to take, but I'm going to keep showing the video.
Your men have been routed, sir. Your men have been routed, sir. Your men have been routed, sir.
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had my one of my bosses call me just to touch base and get some stuff situated for the day. Hopefully you could understand my mouse cursor symbols. As you can see, I've already cracked this howitzer unit, which was huge for me, as that howitzer unit was just shredding my men. Looks like his skirms have came back in the rear. He is situating for my final attack back here. That howitzer is still giving me some issues, but I don't have a great line of sight with my cannon. And right here's where I realized, I might stand a pretty good chance. I pulled up a lot of my cav up to this front line, thinking they could fire right over my men and it would be good. It was not. It did not work as well as I wanted. I lost a lot of cav in that. This cav unit I don't see it coming back. It took heavy damage. This one came back and I didn't realize it at the time, but I had a sneaky idea. As you can see, I'm forming up my men. I'm going to use my men as a meat shield and try to get this cav unit all the way back here. And as you can see, I just found out my other cav unit was back, and I've clicked him all the way back here. And Polk's army is, for some reason, running right into my front line. I don't know why it does it on this map, but it does. These men were directly firing into a unit, which is why they were moving like that. But I am slowly crushing his front line. And Blue is just giving it his all. And this cannon really starts to hurt. Oh. Good hit right there on the 16th. So at this point, I have given up on focusing down my left-hand side. I'm moving units up to support, but all of my attention is immediately focused right here. This is where it's important, and that's why my general's up here, to support these men, keep them from breaking. I need these men. And I just keep advancing and advancing and advancing. The more pressure I can keep on him over here, the better it is for me. And he is already shifting men to try to counter this. And he's doing it very well. As you can see, though, my cav has made it to where I need them to go. So here we go up into the fort. We're going to take Wagner. And we're talking this entire time. And I usually tell him, watch out for this, watch out for that. I did not give him any warning on this 5th Ohio. Because what I'm going to do, as you can see, I'm going to get them all the way over here. And I'm going to take out this last Howie. Oh. Here he goes. My men are tired, and he knew it. That was a damn good idea right there. Moving up more support. He's got his general down in the front lines just supporting and cheering his men on. This was a damn good move right here. He has got 2 units engaged, both of which are already tired and winded, so he has a damn good chance at doing major damage. His men are just pouring fire into this front line, and his howitzers backing them. It's brutal. And unfortunately, my front lines aren't firing that well because they're shooting into these routing men. His men can not only hit them, but if they overshoot, they're hitting these, and a couple have already hit my general just due to overshot. Now, look at his superior positioning. Kudos to you on that, Blue. That was damn good line of sights. And here we go. They're running and they're tired, but I didn't know if he had anything else hidden. I wanted to go straight for that, but I have a secondary line of cav moving up just to ensure. Alright, so his front lines have cracked. I'm moving up regiments to try to get some flanking fire. I'm doing a lot of friendly fire over here, though, with my cannon, because all of my cannon were targeting this one unit. As you can see, the 3 red lines. I was targeting this unit, so every volley I shoot, like that right there, that was friendly fire. And again, I'm moving my men forward, and he sees me moving, and he knows my men are tired, so he instantly charges prior to me being able to set up and get a volley. Very smart idea. When your men are already charging and they get volleyed, it really hurts their stats. He's moving his general in, too, to support his men. Smart. Look at the amount of Confederates he lost, though, in that charge. That was sad. Oh, here he goes. He's sending his general. Final huzzah for the Confederacy. And here it is. Today, the American soldiers have taken Wagner. It is over. Damn, his general's putting up a good fight, though. Let's watch this. The brave general of Polk's army. Oh, and my men volley his general in the back. I didn't mean to do that. I think if his general hadn't gotten volleyed, he'd have been fine. But there I go ahead and institute a charge. Taking out his general. For some reason, I was moving my cav over for support. I couldn't tell you why. But here we go. We got the stats of 8304 deployed on my side, losing a total of 1,852. They killed 1,643 of that. So I had over 209 friendly fire kills. That is terrible. I killed 5,231 out of 5,632. So just shy. 301 of his soldiers made it away. Wow. Yeah, look at his friendly fire compared to mine. He took 38 friendly fire to my 200 something. Whew. Very well played. Bluecoat is a great player. So let's see, my 8th Iowa taking almost 800 men. Way to go. Let's see where my cannons register in this. So 214, 174, 122. Not what I like to see with the amount of money I paid for these cannons. I would have liked to have seen them all in the 500 range. But yeah, that was a damn good battle, and I outnumbered him by 3,300 men. So, but he did very well, in my opinion, and that was a well-fought battle. But anyway, guys, that'll be the end of this stream. As always, I will catch you for the next one. Blue, if you see this, thank you for the amazing content. Yeah, I'll catch you later, guys. Peace.